Hi, Hirsch Sai here, and reporting from Auckland. Today being the 10th of April 2024. And so today for this talk video, yeah, the safest place on earth this century. Certainly, I'm sure many of us, regardless of our age, would love to know. And of course, you can never pinpoint it completely. You can never, pinpoint it 100%. But I guess you can, research it and do as much as research as you can, as in depth as you can, be as objective as you can, and perhaps come down to, uh, I guess, a very good educated guess or probable solution. And to be honest, that's actually what I did. It was like quite a while back. If I was about in 2012, that's what I did, and I wrote a short ebook on it, which is today published on my own website, www.besttellingauthor.com. Sorry, so www.besttellingauthor.com, and it's under the section there called Science. And the ebook, which I'm talking about, is simply called "The Safest Place on Earth the century. And what I did is looking purely at the what I believe is the safest spot on Earth. Not talking about say where it's you're the most livable or the easiest place to find a job or the most wealthiest place or the place with the most opportunity or or a very rich culture or which has a lot of attractions. Not really those things, but simply the safest place. It's a bit like saying the safest way to invest your money is probably be in a bank account. Not exactly the highest return, but at least the return is virtually 100% guaranteed. And you don't have to do anything for it as well. As the saying goes, safe as money in the bank. So, so what I did in this, if you like, in this study and in this ebook is I thought of all the potential things that I could think of, which is currently facing mankind. The potential dangers, the potential threats. We tend to hear of them one at a time, and people tend to sort of be, if you like, fixated or obsessed with sort of one or two things at a time. Like obviously today it would be climate change. Not saying at all that climate change is overrated or that we should not be concerned with it or that it's not true. Not saying that at all. It's just one of many, unfortunately, threats facing mankind. Some other ones we hear today are things like the threat of nuclear war, especially after the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. What was it back in February 2022, and threatening to use nuclear weapons if other countries intervene in that. And then, of course, North Korea arming itself with nuclear weapons, and with its eye on a lot of other countries. China, taking interest in Taiwan, possibly invading Taiwan at some point. Just like Russia invaded the Ukraine, and then of course America has basically said that if China does invade Taiwan, the Americans that they will interfere with that, and then there'll probably be war between China and America, and of course both have nuclear weapons. So does India, Pakistan, France. Britain, and I think, yeah, if you include again Russia and North Korea, basically all the countries with nuclear weapons, and considering how dangerous nuclear weapons are, especially after the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, where we came very, very close to nuclear warfare, and people were obviously, you know, um, absolutely terrified of it for many years afterwards. The reality is, I'm coming back to is that there are a lot of things, potential threats that face us each and every day. Just quickly off the top of my head, there's climate change, there's tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, an asteroid hitting the Earth. War, I guess, related to nuclear weapons, similar to nuclear weapons, war between countries. There's the depletion of resources, there's population overload, there's collapse of economies. There's something else coming from space, like a virus or anything like that. On that note, there's the spread of a potential pandemic, as we experienced very recently in history with the COVID-19 pandemic, which lasted basically from 2020 to 2022. So I think you get it. There's a lot of things that face us, and basically trying to pinpoint the spot on Earth, which I believed, or which I concluded from the research that I did, and I even say in the ebook that I admit that my research is not 100%, conclusive. And just like any research, no matter how much you do, will always have its limitations, and it may even be outdated at some stage. Just the changing of one or two facts or one or two discoveries can completely, completely outdate a conclusion from a very in-depth study. So, I do, as you mentioned that in the ebook, just so people are aware, of course I could be wrong, but what I try to do, I try to think, okay, what is one spot on Earth, or where on Earth, which is pretty much immune to all these potential threats that I see? So you're thinking you probably want to be, for starters, away from the coast, because on the coast, you're at risk of tsunamis, sea level rises, erosion, and worse weather tends to form near the coast. For example, cyclones. So that's when you want to be away from the coast. Again, you want to be away from fault lines because of volcanic eruptions, earthquakes. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. Again, you want to be in a place that's not too populated. A place which is less populated and with a lot of necessary resources close by, such as food, water, electricity, things like that. You want to be in an area which is politically stable, which is safe. You want to be preferably not in a capital city or a metropolis, because the reason why I say that is because a lot of people pass through those main cities every day. And, if there is, say, for example, the spread of a pandemic, then it's likely to reach those areas first. Again, you want to be in a spot that's just safe, full stop, in terms of crime. I guess you get the picture, a spot which is perhaps not completely immune to climate change. I don't think any spot on Earth is, but a spot which is, from what we know so far, less likely to suffer from it, or likely to not suffer so much from it. And then I basically came up with a conclusion. Of course, you can see already so much is eliminated. Just even saying, oh, you don't want to be on the coast, you don't want to be in a large city, you want to be in a place where there's less population and access to resources close by. You want to be in a place that's politically stable, a place that has, low crime. You can see how much is already cancelled out, But I did come up to a conclusion, and of course, you can read about it in that ebook. It's completely free on my website, besttellingauthor.com, and it's under the science section, and it's called The Safest Place on Earth This Century. Keep in mind that I wrote it back in 2012, and of course, the research is not absolutely paramount. But hey, hopefully have a read of it and hope you enjoy it. And can even let me know if you really like what you thought of my conclusion. Can let me know in the comments below. But yeah, and of course, there's much more to say in that ebook, and there are more topics discussed, more potential threats and disasters, or potential threats, or likely disasters. So yeah, can look it up, have a read, enjoy. Let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.